today is September 20th, a Sunday. I'm chilling, and so I wanted to do kind of like a random, like kind of like get to know me type question and answer. So I'm gonna do about 5 or 6. I'm gonna do 7. I'm gonna do 7 because that's my favorite number. I'm gonna do 7 of these random asks. I literally found them on Tumblr. I just literally typed in random asks and I scrolled until I literally just saw one that looked moderately interesting, and it went from 1 to 100. Literally didn't even read the questions. I just saw it and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go with it. So I'm looking at my iPad, which is why I'm looking up and down. So yeah, so I'm gonna just go ahead and start. I'm gonna say a random number. I'm gonna start with 7. 7 is my favorite number. I'm gonna start with 7. Okay. So it says, do you have any pets? No, I don't. Do not have any pets. Never had pets really except for 2 fish. One was a goldfish and one was like, I don't know what they're called, but I think they're sold as like Japanese fighting fish or something. I don't really remember, but like it was really pretty. It was like a really pretty red fish. And yeah, when I was like 12, so it's long gone now. But yeah, I love that fish for real. Like, I don't know, I feel like people are like fish are such boring pets. Like, they're just chilling in the water, bro. Like, let them chill. I don't know, that's just me. I'm not trying to be all hype about fish or nothing, but I'm just saying, like, I just feel like they're like chill pets that, like, they're just cool to like look at and vibe with, you know. So if you need attention and affection, I guess a fish is not the pet for you. But if you're really just like content and you like to chill and like to see little vibey creatures swimming back and forth, fish are cool. I don't know if it's gonna ask me later on, but to kind of expand is a little controversial. But if I had a pet, it would probably be a pet snake, and that's like really weird. I feel like I get that it's like a weird answer. People are like, snakes. But again, they're just vibing. They're just chilling. They're not doing nothing to you. You can't outrun a snake. You like, how fast do you really think you are to outrun a dog like immediately to not get scratched by a cat? And I feel like cats are like chilling. I would also get a cat, but like if I really had to choose like one pet, like I would get a snake. I feel like they're chilling. I feel like yeah, they're a bit more, I would say, I mean, I don't really know if they're more high maintenance, because I don't really know like you know, a lot of typical pet care, because again, I've never really had a pet. I wasn't really allowed to have a pet, and kind of because I wasn't really allowed to have pets, I kind of almost developed this like disdain or uncomfort around animals, because I wasn't really around them like that. Didn't really have friends. I wasn't really allowed to go over to friends' house, so if they had pets, I wasn't even allowed over at friends' house to then interact with their pets. So that was really long to say that I don't have any pets right now, and I would get a snake, but that's not where I'm at in life right now, but it could be. Next question. 154. 54 is calling out to me. So I did 7, I did 54, or I'm gonna do 54. All right, it says, have you ever been skinny dipping? No, I would. Haven't had the chance to, but it depends, because realistically, nasty water, like your pH balance, love, like you gotta think about that. Like me, like maybe if it was like my own pool, or it was like a pool that was regularly being cleaned, like not a public pool, not some like funky neighbor's pool. Like I don't know what's going on in their life. I don't know how often they clean it, but you know, like my friend, like their parents aren't home, so they're like, oh, come in my pool, but like low-key, I don't know about that friend, like, you know, like maybe. But I'm not opposed to it, because like nudity, I'm just like, who knows if that water's clean. Beach water, like at the beach, I had to be like drunk or something. The next one, 17. Why not 17? So 17 says, can you solve a Rubik's Cube? No. I have done it by following tutorials meticulously. Can I do it of my own accord? Because I have the intelligence, so I cannot do it. It's not me. Can't happen. I would like to eventually get to that point. I would also, in my delusions of grandeur, like to believe that I am the type of person who should be able to solve a Rubik's Cube, but I'm not that type of person, and I probably won't dedicate my time in memorizing the Rubik's Cube, except to, you know, for a party trick, like, hey guys, look what I can do, which isn't pretentious, because why am I walking around with a Rubik's Cube? Because who regularly has a Rubik's Cube unless, you know, they're like trying to be like aesthetic and like 90s or 80s or whatever, and then okay, like they have it, okay, cool, they have it, but then for me to have memorized it specifically for the odd and off chance that someone has a Rubik's Cube, come on, I could, but will I? Maybe. We'll see. That was 3. Let's do 88. 88. Okay, 88 says, what is the most unusual conversation you've ever had? I've had a lot of unusual conversations. I would say I've had the most unusual. I don't know how to really explain this, but I would say the most unusual conversation that I've ever had has been with, what made the conversation unusual was that the person I was talking to, their identities, their understanding of the world and how the world relates to them, what they were saying did not align with that. And you might be like, oh, okay, so they were going against the status quo, like they were cool. They were saying some really whack shit. They were talking literally like about plans to gentrify a country that they were visiting for, like, you know, they weren't staying there forever, but because they were in that country for the amount of time, wouldn't it be cool if because apparently they were rich. I genuinely personally don't know, like, for real what their background was, but I would not be surprised if they came from wealth. And so with whatever amount of money or, you know, wealth that they had, like, they were talking about plans to gentrify this place, and we hadn't been at the place, and we were physically at the place, and we hadn't been there, and we I'm trying to think of how to explain my relationship to this person, and I don't really want to expand on my relationship to the person, but then it kind of is like, well, then what are you doing with that person? But just know that I did not want to be around that person. I just was. Me being with that person was put on, like, thrusted on me, and I did not want it, but I had to be around that person. And so continuing, so we hadn't been there that long. It had to be like a week or 2 that we were together, and we just, you know, it's only been like a week or 2 since we were in that area together, so we went on a walk together, which is like still silly because by that point, definitely, I think mutually we knew that we didn't like each other that much. But anyways, regardless, we were walking down the neighborhood, and they were like, yeah, land development, and I was like, hold, and they were just from what they were saying, were very pro gentrification if they were the one doing it, because then it wasn't gentrification because they weren't white. And I'll say that because they weren't white, it doesn't count gentrification, which is like not true. It's not true, and it's very unnuanced to say that. But yeah, that, like, a lot of situations where I would expect them to know better because of of all the marginalized identities. I thought they would know better, and they didn't, and so I was often, like, I should have known better, but often I was thrown through a loop. I was like, you're saying that? You are saying that to me right now? So, yeah, I would say that is an example of a very unusual conversation, not so much because the conversation itself was unusual, but because of who was talking to me about it. It was just like, you cannot really believe that in your heart unless you really are like a slave to capitalism. Like, I'm so sorry to use those words, but you have to be like a slave to capitalism for you to be thinking that that's okay. But yeah. Ooh. I think that was 4. So we got 3 more to knock out. 61 is jumping out at me. Okay, cute, simple, a very different direction. What is your favorite ice cream flavor? So what's my favorite ice cream flavor? I would say vanilla. Basic bitch. It goes with everything. You can put vanilla on anything, with anything, and it's like a great backup or a great adjacent or even a great ground flavor to build, like the toppings and stuff on. And then I would say, as like a random alternative, I do like mint chocolate chip. Y'all can hate all you want, I don't care. Mint chocolate chip is good. Yeah, very simple. Okay, so that's 5, 2 more. Let's do an upper number. Let's do 12. Okay, 12 is, what would you do if you won the lottery? Mind your business, because that's my answer, is mind your business. Because if I win the lottery, y'all ain't seeing me, y'all ain't hearing from me, y'all don't know me, don't know my name, don't know my face, don't know nothing, what I look like, what I sound like, nothing. Nobody knows me. I'm showing up to that bit and I'm masked to get my money. Y'all never see or hear from me again if I win. And it better be like a lottery where it's like a lot of money, not like a little random scratch off ticket and it's like $20. Like, but also for real, like realistically, I would use what I need and then redistribute the rest. Look out for my family and friends, for real. Yeah. Okay, so I think 12 was the 5th one. I mean, y'all about to get the bonus one, I guess. So let's do 2 more. 87 seems okay. Okay, 87 says, are you a daredevil? Yeah, I be speeding. I love roller coasters. I love driving quickly. I wanted to go skydiving in college. Was gonna go with some friends. It was like this one friend's birthday, but then it didn't happen. But I was gonna go. Wasn't gonna tell my parents. I kind of want to do bungee jumping, but I'm low-key scared. Which is like, okay, why the skydiving but not the bungee jumping? But I feel like, I don't know, like if you, it's about to be a little morbid, but if you fall from skydiving and you like, the parachute don't work, you're just straight dead. Like that's it. But a bungee, like you can like snap your neck or something and still be like functioning. And it's not to say that like, paralyzed or, people can't have full fulfilling lives. But I don't want to wake up in a hospital with a snap neck. I'd rather just be dead. Just at that point, just, and I'm done. I don't need my bones, I can't move. I don't need it. I don't need it. I personally, individually don't need it. Like if I fall, I'm done. It's already get dark on y'all, but yeah. So yeah, I would say I'm a daredevil. I would much rather control the thing that I'm doing. So if like say it's like go-karting or something, I'd much rather do that because then I'm the one like driving the car. One time I've always wanted a motorbike, always. And so I don't have one yet, but there was a point in time where I was able to ride a motorbike, and it was kind of like a thing because like it was kind of like a thing. Basically, my partner didn't want me to do it because they didn't want me to get hurt, and like it was very shitty of me to like lie about it. But I lied about it, and I ended up getting on the bike, and I didn't get. I kind of did end up like hurting my leg a little bit, like I kind of, the way that you balance yourself is you put your foot out, and so kind of by instinct when you like wobble you kind of put your foot out, which is not, you're not supposed to do that, but I did. So like my foot kind of slid, kind of, you know, like pulled my knee a little bit. But yeah, so I was able to get on a motorbike and ride it like in another, like, and I was in another country, and I don't know, I just was having like a very like Lizzie McGuire like moment where I'm just like in another country driving a motorbike, you know. So yeah, the things that where I can control it, I love it. I've been ziplining. It actually wasn't that bad because it was actually pretty slow. Like I was thinking that the zip line they were gonna like launch you across, but for real it's like a glide. You go quickly, but you mostly glide. It's really, at least the one I was on, it was not that deep. Like I was low-key screaming, like because I thought it was gonna go fast, and you know, I'm like above this a bunch of trees, so I'm like ah, ah, but like I kind of was just screaming. After like a second I realized that I didn't need to scream, and I was just screaming for the fun of screaming, so I was like screaming just for the fun of screaming. But yeah, ziplining was not that bad. So yeah, a bit of a daredevil. Last one to wrap it up. 25. Because what's funnier than 24? 25. 25 says, what's the furthest you've ever been on vacation? And I guess that means, what's the furthest I've traveled away from home to be on vacation is what I'm gonna assume that means. Vacation? Excuse me. I've traveled for many different reasons. So for vacation specifically, I would say the farthest has been to the Caribbean, because that's where my parents are from, and so we were at my grandma's house. Been there twice with my family in my lifetime, and it's very chill, very cool. And yeah, that's another video. I hope as y'all come to my channel and check out my other videos, y'all choose to stay for a while. But until next time.